Let me give you 4 important tools that we spend a lot of time in the material and the training of how to instill responsibility and self-control. Morals and values are taught through our example and our discipling of our children. Responsibility and self-control are trained with these 4 tools. Number 1, written rules. Now, rules are not expectations, because if you view rules as an expectation when your kids fail, what is your natural response? Disappointment. Could you imagine when you went into college and the teacher pulled out the test that you were going to have at the end of the year, sat you down and said, do this test. And you fail, and him go, oh, no, you failed, you're out of here. You'd go, what do you mean? You didn't even let me learn. I mean, you gave me the shoot, this is dumb. What do we tell our kids? Rules are not expectations. They're part of the training tool. You know why you write them? Or our kids know our rules. We don't have to write them down. Oh, shut up. I've proven so many parents wrong. I said, you really, that's the way you think? I said, no, man, look at me. I tell the husband, look at me. Don't look at your wife. Now, wife, you be quiet. Now, sir, you just told me they don't need to write it down, or your wife did. Now, I want you to tell me all the rules. Now, you don't look at your wife. You look right at me. Tell me what the rules are on the house. He just starts looking at his wife, and, he can't even look at me. Just tell me the rules. He'll give me 3, and his wife's over there rolling her eyes going, how did you miss this one and this one, this one? You know it's out of order. Disunity. Husband and wife need to come together and write the rules together. Agree what your rules are going to be. They're part of your training tools. So it's not mom's there, it's one rule. Hey, mom's coming home, get off the couch. That's a rule she doesn't want. So you have this manipulation system going on. It's unified. Our wives need to be an extension of our own bodies, man. And if we don't lead in this way and get their advice from our wives, not them, tell us what you want, honey, okay, that's the rules. Don't be stupid. Sit down with them, get their advice, seek their input. But man, when you finalize those rules, they're coming from you, not your wife. A wise man seeks his wife input. They've got special gifts and discernment that we don't have. But write out your rules. What did God do with his rules? Did he give us a good example? What did he write them on? Now, couldn't have God made paper? Did he not know Moses was going to throw them and break them? Go like this. This is why God put them on stone. Just go like that. You're a rockhead. He knew. So we need to follow God's example. Write them out. It brings unity. It keeps fairness in the house. Number 2, to every rule have a predetermined discipline, which means training. So it doesn't matter if mom's there, dad's there, whatever. If someone breaks the rule, praise the Lord, opportunity, you will get this discipline. And you will call it discipline, which means training. Smaller children, you usually begin with a timeout. Some parents go, I don't think timeout works. No, what you really mean, you don't think timeout works because it doesn't feed your flesh, parent. We think it's got to hurt or it doesn't work. Try to find that biblically in how God disciplines you and I. Yeah, there have been times when God came and said, I want you to go ask for forgiveness. And it was really painful for me to go and be obedient and accept God's discipline. Yes, there were times in my life, but there were thousands of times when God brought it to my attention. I willfully, no pain, no strain, nothing. Oh, yes, I blew it. I stick my foot in my mouth and go right over there and ask for forgiveness. I received God's discipline. I was trained. I blessed God. God took over the situation because of my obedience. That was me yielding to God's discipline. It doesn't have to hurt. That's our sick, twisted mind. For older kids, discipline is work. We show you how to implement these things. What did God use for the children of Israel when they didn't listen? Slavery. When they get older, 5, 6 years old, we show you how to put what we call discipline boxes with little pieces of paper with age-appropriate things. So when they break a rule, that means they go pull. They reach in, they pull it out, and whatever it is, they go do now. It has to be done right and immediately. And if you don't, you're asking for what? Are you sure, honey, you want the punishment instead of discipline? Because the punishment doesn't replace the discipline. You get punished, and there's no freedom until the discipline is done. Now you're really confused. Where are you going with that? And then for older kids, we use what we call a discipline list, same concept. Mom, when you sit down and think about all the spring cleaning things that you hate doing around the house, all those things that over and above the chores you normally give your kids, and you write them all down on a piece of paper and age appropriate, especially for those teenagers, because they can do things like wash cars and all kinds of things, wash windows inside and out, all those wonderful things, put a whole list down. So when they break a rule, they go to the discipline list. Oh, wash mom's car, praise the Lord, it is filthy. Go do it now. Now, if it's 9 o'clock at night, then obviously you can go down and do the next one, or you can say to them, by 5 o'clock, it better be done, or you get another one. Praise the Lord. Your house will be so clean. You go to my house anytime you want. My house is spotless. My kids, and you know, my kids are brought up this way. And when they go in people's houses that are dirty, they come home. It was just really weird. My teenagers would come home and go, gosh, man, we went to my friend's house, and their room, you can't even walk in it. You're stepping over everything. Their bed was about, and their parents let them get away with it. They're 14 years old coming home and telling us that stuff. Because they had no room. That was my room. I let them live there. And my rule is the bed was made and the things picked off the floor before you left the school. If you didn't do it, you showed an irresponsibility or lack of self-control. Either, I don't care. When you came home, you got to do the next discipline list and go take care of that before you had any freedom. Praise the Lord. I trained them. How many opportunities did God give us to teach them responsibility and self-control that we scream and yell and then threaten or punish, and punish doesn't instill character. That's why over 90% of the people in prison end up back there. Punishment does not instill character. It's a temporary motivator. And once Big Brother's off our back, they go right back into the behavior. Discipline is what trains character, just like a muscle. And so when parents scream and yell and don't follow through, we wonder why we have 18, 19, 20, and 30-year-old kids that have the character of a 5 or 6 or 7-year-old. Because parents missed hundreds of opportunities. When parents tell me, well, I think their room, I want that to be their own, place where they can go and be pigs. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Why would you tell them that? You paying me rent? We got a lease, honey? We don't. This is my house. I let you live here. This is what I want to see. If you don't do it, it's gonna give me an opportunity to train you. So the third tool, punishment. The word punishment means a measured amount of pain to motivate. A measured amount of pain to motivate. So in the event they tell you no to the discipline that you've had predetermined, they are asking for the motivator. And your compliant children, most normal children, will just yield to the discipline. Guess what strong-willed ones do? Nicholas, he has had hundreds of spankings. Oh, you believe in spanking? We teach you 13 do's and don'ts of spanking, put a biblical understanding to it, and I hope you don't leave here thinking that that's the only way to punish your kid. It is not. We give you some other ideas in our material. Don't come up and ask me. I won't have time tonight. But you need to find a way when a child says no to your authority and does not yield to the discipline, to find a way to motivate them. And typically strong-willed kids, you will be doing this a lot.